to the bathroom to check, am I spotting yet? Or maybe the whole week was filled with prayers of, please breathe.
Yes.
Just breathe.
Yes.
Like to the baby, just breathe.
Hey everybody, welcome to Being Kambua. So glad and so happy to have you. It's because of you that I get to keep doing this, just sharing our stories, lifting each other, encouraging one another, learning from each other, and having conversations that will break stereotypes, taboos, have those uncomfortable, unspoken conversations, normalizing them, because it is important to normalize the conversation surrounding motherhood, fertility, and all of that. Good stuff that affects us, or if it doesn't affect you directly, for sure has affected someone who's close to you, somebody that you love. And so you're able to have the knowledge and the tools to support and be able to do life together. So I am really, really happy because, as always, I get amazing women. I promise you, just women who will impact your life with their story, with their journey, with who they are, with just the essence of who they are. And this guest, my guest today, Just Maggie, is no stranger to you guys. She is a super powerhouse. She's an influencer and has been, like, I watch her and sometimes I'm like, how do you do this so effortlessly? You know, and but also Maggie is an advocate. She knows her stuff. So even as you come to her, you should know that she knows her rights and sometimes helps us know our rights as well. She's also a mom and a wife, and I'm really just so happy to have you, Maggie. Hey, hey.
Hi, Kambua. Thank you so much. That was a befitting intro.
Yay. You're also Mama Ruani.
Yes.
Yes. How can I miss that?
Yeah.
What does Ruani mean?
Ruani, the full name is Morwani,
Yes.
which is a Kisii word from the word Omorwani, which is a warrior. So if you look at it, it's in another language it would be a Moran.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So he's a warrior and a fighter. He's a fighter. Yeah. So we just shortened it to Ruani.
Ruani.
Yeah.
That is amazing. You know, I have a memory of you, Maggie. Let me remind you. You might not even remember. I think we were shooting something in town on a Sunday afternoon. So yes, we were shooting something in town on a Sunday afternoon. I think it was it DJ Sadiq's music video? It was one of those DJs. Friends of ours were shooting a music video. Anyway, we walked to Snow Cream. On what street is it on in town?
Koinange?
But yes, it was around Koinange Street, and you are on a date with your husband.
My God, that is campus.
Yes. And I was like, oh, they are so cute. Just having ice cream on a Sunday afternoon.
I remember.
Yeah.
I would not have remembered if you didn't
I
mention.
have pockets of, things that remain with me. And I think it was just that moment of thinking, this is just so cute. It's perfect. Have ice cream with the one you love on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh my God, we were young.
You are young, you are in campus, he was your boyfriend.
Yes.
He's now your husband. So I am glad it escalated to
From high school, yeah.
from high school. Wow. Wow. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So you guys finally decided we're going to do this. We'll do life together.
Yeah.
We'll get married. We'll have a family.
Yeah.
I asked this question to Julie when we had her a while back. I asked her whether she was ever those girls who, growing up, you play with dolls, imagine my babies will look like this, or were you on the other side? Were you a tomboy, or were you just,
Tomboy,
clueless, living life?
hats,
Okay.
Safaricom t-shirts. No. I was not that girl. Even when my husband was ready to get married, I was not.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I'm studying.
Okay. What made you think you couldn't get married and study?
My mom.
Okay.
You finish your studies first.
Yes.
Yeah, then you can think of other things.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you finish and then get married?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys got married. How long ago was this?
2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
After dating for 10 years.
I thought my previous guest, Nessie, had taken the crown with 7 years, but 10.
Yeah. 2019, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm not judging. I'm just so intrigued.
Yeah.
So 10 years into it, then you got married to pretty much, I guess, your best friend. You've known him for, so long.
Yes.
What was the plan? Were you guys gonna start trying to have a family off the bat? Did you even have that conversation whether you'd want to have children, or what was that for you guys?
I think it was just casual, those conversations. Oh, how many kids would you like? Me, I used to say 2.
Okay.
He, many, because they were just 2.
And that's were too many, so I'm like, 2 is okay. Yeah, but it was, I think even getting married, it was just getting married. I moved step by step.
Yes.
Didn't even think farther than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were not trying but not preventing. Is that?
When getting a baby?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So when we got married, March, the traditional wedding.
Yeah.
He said we move in.
Okay.
That was still contentious for me because he's like, it's a marriage.
Yes.
I took a lot of convincing.
Yes.
I joined him after a month.
Okay.
And then he said, yeah, now we can plan the wedding together. So we started staying together from April.
Yes.
And I think somewhere in the end of July, I got pregnant, but I was not trying to get pregnant.
Wow.
Yes.
So you're now pregnant before this was still before the
white wedding.
Yeah.
We were starting to talk about the date and everything. Then I was just so sleepy. That's all I remember. That's how I knew I was pregnant. I was very sleepy. I used to pack my car to just sleep. I was so sleepy, and that's the only symptom I had was that pregnancy.
Yeah.
But I remember, like, when I found out, I was so happy. It was fresh excitement. You don't even know loss.
Yes.
You're just happy. Like, hey, my sisters, everyone must know.
Yes.
I think I told him on camera.
Okay.
For myself.
Okay.
Not because I love creating content, but I love to capture moments.
Right.
So I had it for myself. He was so happy. And that was August.
Yeah.
And we said, this house we live in is too small.
Yes.
And we're starting a family, so we moved to a very big house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we found out we were pregnant. That's how we started. Yeah.
Okay, so you both are very, very excited starting, your family. You've moved into this big house.
Yes.
You've started your prenatal
classes. Yeah, we're still planning the wedding. I'm actually trying gowns and telling those gown. I remember one house, I told them, I need one for a pregnant bride. Yeah. So it was very fresh. It was very exciting.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you obviously you went to the gyna, everything was good?
It was not obvious.
Okay.
I mean,
it's not obvious,
to me, it was too early.
Oh, you didn't go?
No.
Okay, I take that back. Yeah, obviously you did not go to the
I didn't even know a gyna. I didn't go. I was like, I think people wait for a few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you can do an ultrasound. So for me, I didn't go.
Right.
Yes, I didn't go immediately.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so at what point did you
go?
Actually go, yeah?
Yeah, I remember August is usually a busy month musically. Yeah. So he was not around. There's music festivals, and then he was a government pianist.
Yes.
So I waited for him to come back so that I go for the visit.
Yeah.
So I think we went like towards the end of August or the first week of September. I was around like 8-9 weeks.
Yes.
9 weeks, yeah. That's when I was like, now we can go together.
Okay.
I even remember the outfit I wore.
Yeah. What did you wear?
Like jeans, ripped jeans, blue.
Okay.
Because it was like, I wanted to remember.
Yes.
I just want to remember the first time.
Yes.
I wanted to remember the first heartbeat. I'm already looking at vloggers.
Yes.
Vlogging announcements.
Yes.
What did they wear in the ultrasound? The record. Oh, there's a heartbeat to record. I was excited.
Yeah. So
I was
you
very
created
excited.
content for the pregnancy journey
in my head,
Yeah,
and I'm
of
already
course.
consuming.
Yes.
If someone is pregnant, follow.
Yes.
Follow. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I even remember influencers who were pregnant with me.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So here you are looking dashing in your ripped jeans.
Yes.
You
We're
go
going to the gyna.
gyna.
And I remember I didn't want to go to a small hospital. So
Yeah.
I used to love, I'll just mention the hospital. I used to love AR.
Okay.
But I didn't want to go to the smaller AR. So I went to
Yes.
a bigger one, I think Greenhouse.
Okay.
Yeah. So I called, booked, said we're coming. Then we went. Hey, it's so blurry. It's so blurry.
Yeah.
Because we got there, we saw a gyna, we just talked normal.
Yeah.
Like, it was the first time we were meeting. I don't even remember his name. And then what did he say? He said, fine, I'm going to send you for ultrasound.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the procedure. So we drank a lot of water. And I remember there's a queue. Then we entered
Yes.
the room. And then I told him, record for me. We have to have the first heartbeat. So the sonographer was quite cold.
Okay.
Maybe she's not an extrovert, but she was not warm. She's just
Yeah.
like, I'm here to do my job.
Yeah.
So she, you open the jeans, does the knee, she
Yeah.
looks.
Yeah.
She's like, how many weeks are you? I'm like, 9. They're like, I can't get a heartbeat. I saw my husband just take the phone and put it down. I was like, what do you mean you can't get a heartbeat? Where is it?
Yeah.
Like, to me, even at that time,
Yeah.
loss was not a thought.
Yeah. So it's
I
not.
didn't know people lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she said, because it's too early, just go pee, then we do a transvaginal scan. And when she said that, I got cold.
Yeah.
I got really cold.
Yeah.
I remember holding the wall to go to the loo to pee, and then when I came back, in my heart, I just knew something is wrong. So she did it. Transvaginal scans are very uncomfortable.
Very intrusive.
Very intrusive. So she did it. And she's like, you're saying 9 weeks, but the fetus stopped growing at 7. And I'm like, I don't have any symptoms. I'm not bleeding.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I still feel
I
pregnant.
still feel pregnant.
Yeah.
She's like, just go to the doctor. They'll explain to you.
Wow.
That's all. And I went to the corridor. Hey, me, I'm cry.
Yeah.
The tears came. I called my sister.
Yeah.
My big sister is like, you're right or die. She just came with slippers.
Yeah.
Red slippers. I always remember. It was at night. She's alone with the kids. Her
Yeah.
kids, she left them and just came with slippers. And we're there. Now even her, she's a crier. She's crying. And we're like, and my husband is fairly optimistic.
Yeah.
It's like, but we've not been told it's confirmed.
Yes.
I'm like, how can you have hope? Like, yeah, I don't think anything is wrong. She said, we can try again in a week because you don't have any symptoms. And me, in my heart, So when we went back to the doctor, he was jovial.
Yeah.
He's like, he has the energy of my husband. And they're like, okay. So everything went well. And I'm just quiet. And he says, your blood work is fine. Because the blood work they did still shows I'm pregnant.
Yes.
But wacha tuangalie at ultrasound. Hii ndio msema kweli. And I was like, any hope I had,
Yeah.
it went.
Yeah.
And she said, don't worry, we have to try it again after a week to see whether there'll be growth.
Okay.
You might have your dates wrong.
Okay.
That was it. That was the beginning of a very long week. Because how are you telling me to wait for a week? What am I supposed to do in that week?
Yeah. And I remember the drive home. This big house we got was far out of town. It was the longest journey of my life. It was raining. We can't see. My eyes are swollen. My husband is tired. He's just come from his safari. So we are both tired, but both confused. And we're going to a very big house alone. So went back home and we just wait. Now, in the week of waiting, I couldn't do anything.
I can imagine.
I could not really, but I had an influencer commitment on a Saturday. I remember I went. I remember one person triggered me by asking, when do you want to have kids? Oh, I remember that one. I remember what I was wearing. And I'm just quiet because I'm like, I don't know whether I am miscarrying.
What did you say?
Honestly, I just smiled. I didn't answer. I don't know where I got the grace to go for that event. Because every time I'll go to the bathroom to check, am I spotting yet? Or maybe the whole week was filled with prayers of, please breathe. Just breathe. Like to the baby, just breathe. So event was on a Saturday. I don't know, I went to work on Monday or Tuesday. One of them. And now at work, someone was really mean to me. I remember, that week, you remember everything because you're silently going through something.
So you're very sensitive.
There was someone who was really mean to me, and then I went to the washroom just to exhale. And then when I went to the washroom, I was spotting. I had told my husband, he was in the same compound. I think it's happening. He just knew. We drove, we're in Rongai. We drove silently. We were carrying our colleagues, but no one knows. But it was the most silent drive ever. So we decided, in that 1 week, I decided to change the gyna. Now I want to work with a particular gyna. One, because I didn't like how the sonographer handled it. And, I had documents written, suspected, threatened abortion. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So went to the new gyna. And we were in a room. I remember we were in a room with a photo of a mom holding a baby. When I received, when he came and he did the scan, because he used to do everything there. And he said, there's no heartbeat, so it's confirmed. And my heart sank, and he told us, I'm going to give you a few minutes just to feel what you need to feel, and then we can discuss it in my office. So in that 5 minutes, we were with another doctor. She's called Dr. Jemima. I don't know if you know her. She's really great. She'll watch this. So she was being tutored by this gyna, but she was also a friend. So I remember she held our hands and she said, let's pray. And she prayed. And then dressed up and I go to the gyna. As in from there, it's just, you just don't hear anything. And I was really crying. And I remember the gyna at some point saying, I hope this doesn't break you. You need to have hope. That's the only thing I remember. I think they were talking about what's next because I refused the pill. I was like, I don't have it in me to naturally go through it. So if it can end in a day, I want it over. So he was explaining the DNC, how it will happen and everything. After that, we went to Java. We have a funny way of absorbing news.
I think we all have our ways of coping.
What were we doing in Java? With my sister. My sister came. And in Java, I met someone who knew me from my blog. And they were so excited. And I was just, And when she was talking, I cried. It just came. And it came with floods. Like, I don't even remember that person, but I just started. Then my sister was like, no, it's not a good time. And she was with me. I just cried. I don't know if I ate, because we were trying to eat because we live far. And we have to be in surgery the next day. So
I just cried. I lost it, and my husband was like, let's go home.
Yeah. We go home. He has instructions of I should eat by when.
Okay. Yeah, because of theater.
Yes. Do I care? I know he woke up at some point at 3 because we got home. I just read the Bible, then I slept with it open. I could not talk. I just read a verse, then just slept with it open. Yeah. He woke up, he cooked eggs, I don't know, at 3 or 4. Yeah. I ate. And because we needed to start the journey, it was like 1.5 hours drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You have moved far.
Yeah, me, don't dare me. If I move far. Even my parents are always scared. Where are you going? We move far. Yeah, we are extreme. Yeah. So I started the journey.
I got to the hospital.
Yeah.
It's a very blurry day. I remember all my sisters came. They were just there, stories. I was told by a nurse, doctor, going to insert a pill to start the process.
And that's when it hit me, guy, it's not a dream.
Yes.
You know, it's something different when you don't have symptoms.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not a dream.
Yeah.
And then after 1 hour, you go to theater. And in theater, I was shaking. God bless Dr. Jemima, because she now held my hand, because I didn't want to forget.
Yes.
I really didn't want to forget. I really wanted to hold on to the memory that I was pregnant.
Yes.
And putting anesthesia for me meant I will forget.
Yes.
And so I kept telling them, please just give me a few. And she just held my hand and she said it's okay to let go.
Yeah.
We counted and then I was out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the procedure happened. But when I woke up, I think that's the most painful experience. I felt everything.
Yeah.
When I woke up, I wept.
Yeah.
That was not crying. I wept because I'm like, it's over and I don't even know. I don't know if I had a baby. I don't know. I didn't feel anything, but I wept. A good one. And I was discharged the same day.
You're
discharged the same day. It was a very long drive again. It was very sensitive. I think at this point I told my mom-in-law. I told my mom, so she called my mom-in-law because I live closer.
Yes.
And she came. And I went back to the house, the very big house.
Yes, just the two of you.
Just the two of us. But now my mom-in-law slept over. My small sister slept over. There were people.
Yeah, your community.
Yes.
You know, I like that you've given us, there's such a contrast between that first sonographer that you encountered, the cold one.
Yes.
And then we've now brought in Dr. Jemima.
Dr. Jemima now with Dr. Yamal.
Yes. There's such a difference in the care.
Yes.
And I feel like this is something that I keep wanting to dwell on because those moments are so important in a woman's life that when you handle someone in a cold or crude way, when they're feeling like their life is falling apart, I think it's such an injustice. They will never forget.
They'll never forget.
You know, and I feel like, you know, we are so grateful to the healthcare. And I know they're busy, they're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But a little compassion can go such a long way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just acknowledging that this woman is devastated right now.
Yeah.
How can I communicate facts? Yes. But in a humane way,
and also give her time. I know there's a queue.
Give her time.
Give her 5 minutes.
Exactly. Give her 5 minutes to get herself together. Call who she needs to call, and you know, So I like that it turned out good for you when you switched the people who are taking care of you.
Yes.
So you're now, you know, back home with your family, or close people are there with you. Was it difficult for you to talk to people who are not your immediate, like, you know, your immediate community? Had you told other people that you guys were expecting?
Yes.
You had?
Hey.
You told everyone?
Yes. I told my friends. I have told people.
Yes.
You know, I didn't know you can lose. Like, now you have to untell.
I know we're laughing, but tell me about that untelling.
I think most of it was handled by my sisters.
Okay.
So those who needed to know knew.
Yes.
Those who, I think, in the circle, those who knew I was pregnant, for some reason, they were reaching out to say sorry. Yeah. So someone had already told them. Yeah, so that it made it easier.
Yes.
Yeah. But I really struggled to tell. I don't know why I struggled to tell my parents. I had not told them I'm pregnant. Yeah. But my husband called my mom and my dad and explained and told them, and now they reached out and they were very encouraging. I don't know why I was not telling them, but I think I was very ashamed. I felt like it's me. Something is wrong with me. I mean, my sister has had 2 kids and she didn't even plan for them.
Yes.
Why can't I hold a pregnancy? Yes. So there was a part of me that felt whatever has happened is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to talk to my parents about it. Yeah.
I like that you're steering us towards where I wanted us to go. Just the feelings that you were having at that point. And you've said a word that seems to be very consistent with every woman who has experienced some type of loss, is you felt ashamed. And allow me to ask you why, Maggie, you would feel ashamed even though it's not something that you did to cause that loss.
Oh, to me, I caused it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the clinic early. To me, I stuck with that. I should have gone to the clinic early.
Yeah.
Or something is wrong with my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know anyone who's lost.
Yeah.
At that point, I genuinely was trying to look for who has lost. What did they do wrong?
Yes.
So that I know. Because you see, a missed miscarriage, you don't know when it happened. You didn't have any sign.
Yeah.
So what happened is, like, the why is where I got really stuck. And I think after the procedure, I got stuck. Is there a YouTube miscarriage video I've not watched?
Wow.
I couldn't find Black people.
Yes.
And the more I couldn't find them, I could search. And every woman who's giving, I miscarried, with tissue, I helped them to cry. That's how I cried.
Yes.
I was listening to people. I'm like, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. But I really wanted to know why. Why me and not anyone else in my family. It's not only until my mom said that she's ever had it, that's when I was like, so it's not me. But before, I was like, it's me.
Wow. So 2 things right there. Number 1, you have a podcast yourself, and I actually listened to you and Soila, another lady, talk about miscarriage.
Yes.
But I can tell you that even as I've been getting ready to have these conversations, I have searched the internet for content. From the time that I had a miscarriage, I looked for content so much.
Yes.
And there was quite a bit of content not from women of color, African women. It wasn't there. We don't talk about it.
Yes.
And I was like, no, we need to do something. Because you know, we are the 1 in 4 in our circles, right?
Yes.
Every circle has. Yes, every circle has that 1 in 4, you know? So why can't we have those conversations in order to, to help each other to navigate those things?
Yes.
And then the other thing is, you had to go through a miscarriage for your mom to say, even I.
Miscarriage. Yeah.
Yes. Do you know, I remember how surprised I was when people very close to me at that time said, even me, I went through a miscarriage. I'm like, I didn't know this. You never told me this before.
Because it's normalized.
Yes, or it's shameful.
Yes.
And there's no space to talk about it, you know? And it almost feels like when someone tells you, even I went through it, you feel like you've been inducted into this secret, like, I don't know what to call it, you joined the sisterhood. And of course you feel less alone, which is why we're doing this, so that women can feel less alone. It's very lonely to have a miscarriage. It's so lonely to battle those feelings you're having, blaming yourself, Maggie, for not going to the clinic. Honestly.
Yeah. I remember a friend who also had a miscarriage the same time. Now, I only knew when I shared, that's when she said we miscarried at the same time. But she told me, if it gives you any hope, I went to the clinic, I was on supplements, and I still miscarried. So it's not really your fault.
No.
That's when I was like, okay, fine.
It's not.
Fine. Yeah.
It is not your fault.
Yeah.
You know, as your friend rightfully said, there are people who go, the minute the line appears, they're at the gyna, you know. So, and they still lose their pregnancies.
Yes.
So it has nothing to do with I went early or I went late or I did. Of course, it's important to go, you know, to seek help once you find out you're pregnant, to know what to do. But I'm just saying that we find so many reasons to blame ourselves for something that is not. It's beyond our control.
It's beyond us.
I want to talk about your body physically, how you are feeling after you've had the D&C. Do you remember feeling, okay, now was it like an on-off switch? Now my body feels not pregnant. What do you remember physically after having that procedure done?
Ooh, I remember I wanted to really hold on to how I was feeling during pregnancy. And some of the heartbreaking things that would trigger me was my first period after that. I remember that one I really cried.
Yeah.
And then the feeling of not being sore. That one messed my morning. I was like, I don't feel pregnant anymore. It took like a week or something. And I was like, I'm not sensitive anymore. I'm not sore. My skin was... Okay, my skin when I'm pregnant, it looks like it really cooperates, but then I got a pimple. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Those small, my first period, and when the pregnancy symptoms were fading, I was triggered. I was actually very triggered.
Was your first period any different from your regular periods?
No.
It was just like a regular period?
It was just regular. It just took some time to come.
You know, earlier I introduced you as Mama Ruani, so we know that there's a little person who came. How long after that first loss did you get to a place of, okay, we're going to try again, and oh my goodness, we're pregnant? How long was that duration?
Let me say first, I had to change the person who's making my gown.
Okay.
Because there's a wedding now.
Oh, we have a wedding that hasn't happened. Yes.
So I did not want to go back and say,
okay,
let's not now go with the design. So I changed. I just went silent. I changed the person. Started planning for now the wedding in December. That was hard. That was just hard because now I was like, I need to start with I think my gown was made in 3 weeks because it was just quiet. It was just quiet. So that happened, and then when we got married, we didn't focus on we want a baby. All of us were in some sort of pain. It was a area we were like, let's live our lives. Let's just enjoy life. So I really didn't want to go through the emotions of pregnancy and loss. Until I think January. It's not even long. I think January, I met my big sister after work, and then she's talking to me. She's like, where are you mentally? And I'm like, I may not want a baby anytime soon. I'm like, hiya. Why? I'm like, because I don't want to go through the same thing. And she's like, it's not going to happen again. And she was encouraging me, giving me stories of her friends who've made it through. And that's the first time I kind of changed my mind. I remember, one thing I didn't say is the week where I took a week to just cry. And I could not get out of the house. And I met my best friend, and she's asking, how are you? And I'm like, I don't know how to move on. Because moving on feels like I'm not acknowledging that I was pregnant or this happened. And I was struggling. And she told me, she's a pediatrician. So she's like, imagine that the sky is full of like some small souls that went, and your baby is looking down on you. What will make them feel like, woo, my mom was a superstar? Is it to cry every day? Or to move on and honor them even in your life as you continue? Like, okay. this is someone who's acknowledging that it happened, that I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And now she's challenging me to look at life differently, to make that baby proud. That's the only thing that got me out of that deep. So after that is when I went back to my life. But I wasn't telling people anything. Until when I met my sister and she's encouraging me is when I said, okay, fine, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, and I went back home and I told my, I think I'm ready to try again.
Okay.
Like, okay. Yeah. So we just not trying, but not trying. And it didn't take so long. I was pregnant. And this time I knew. This time now I was vomiting.
This one came with everything.
This one came with everything. And immediately we found out. I went to the doctor. Now I'm not going to take time. So I went to the doctor. I went to Dr. Yamal, the same doctor. And he was now taking every precaution because of history. If you're going to be on progesterone, you're going to be on progesterone. You're going to be on so many things. And immediately I start the journey, COVID. A week later, COVID, lockdown.
Oh my goodness, being pregnant in isolation. Wait, were you guys still living an hour and a half away?
No.
You had moved closer to us?
We came closer. He got malaria, we couldn't find a hospital there. We're like, okay, this is our sign, let's go back to civilization. That's how we moved closer.
So COVID is here and you're pregnant. How was that, being pregnant?
Horrible.
In a pandemic?
First, I was processing anxiety from the last pregnancy. I was anxious. I do not know if I have... I don't know. That was not even normal. But no one can pick it out because you're not interacting with anyone.
Right.
But I was anxious. I was sick. This pregnancy now, I felt everything because of, I think, the added progesterone.
Yes, it does heighten you.
Ooh, I was very sick. I'm not getting out. And when you're not seeing the sun... I'm very lonely because now who am I telling? I don't want to tell people because then I'll have to untell them. So only my family knew. Only my family. That pregnancy was hard.
And were there, do you remember specific triggers? Maybe it could be, I don't know, your 9th week mark. Do you remember moments that were like, oh, this is so triggering for me, I'm pregnant, but it's reminding me of...
the first ultrasound.
Oh, the first ultrasound.
Yes, I froze. I was changing. The gyna waited. I just froze. And my husband couldn't find parking and I was alone.
Wow.
That one I cried. Before even they started, I cried. But he understood. I think he's dealt with, so he deals with delicate cases. But he just understood. But I was shaking. Ultrasounds will forever be a very difficult thing for me. First ultrasound was very triggering. I was so sick. I was so sick plus crippled with fear. I was vomiting thrice a day. I lost 12 kgs.
Oh my goodness. Instead of gaining weight, you're losing weight.
I lost so much weight. And I was panicking every time. I can't breathe. And we are just two. My sister came and lived with me, my smallest sister. She would try and get me out of the room. Let's watch a series. Of course, pregnancy, sleeping. But that first trimester, if I remember, I just had to write some Bible verses because I couldn't pray. So those verses are what I could read every day. And I stuck the first ultrasound, and that's all I could do. Before I knew you, formed you.
Oh, wow.
That's the only thing I could read.
That's beautiful.
And that's it. That got me through the first trimester.
Wow, that's actually something to take away from me.
Because I was like, I can't pray, so let me just write the verses that speak life. And that's it. And I remember even at some point I was spotting. The rush to the hospital, then getting the progesterone shots, then now you're on complete bed rest. Oh, as those people who are told, you just shower
and you go back to bed.
Go back to bed. That's how I survived for actually 16 weeks.
Oh, that's a long time.
It's a long time. By the time I'm coming out, goodness. I'm a new person.
Yeah, I mean, well, you fell off social media for a while, like a while.
A long while.
And then you showed up with a bump and you were like, oh my
God. Even showing up was month 7.
Yeah, it was advanced, well advanced.
Yeah, it was not even in my mind. My mind was survival.
Yes.
Every day, we are alive.
Yes.
Thank you, God.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Every single day I pass. I wait for the sun.
Yeah.
And then I wait for it to set.
Wow.
That is how I survived.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something special that angel moms get, is just that awareness that every day is a miracle.
It is.
Every day. You know?
It is.
It's not, you don't take things for granted.
Yeah.
You don't take for granted that you can get pregnant. Don't take for granted that you can carry a baby.
And it's beyond you.
Everything is
it's
so beyond you.
So even if you worry, there's nothing you can do. I think my therapist says, if we were put in charge of oxygen, do you think you'd survive? Like, you need, I don't know how many, 15 kg cylinders, and you're put in charge of your own oxygen. When they wash it, do you think you will sustain yourself? You'll probably get tired. So I learned to let go and let God. Completely.
You've mentioned your therapist. How important has therapy been for you as just a tool to help you navigate?
Therapy is very important. I think anyone who's gone through loss and goes through pregnancy should see a therapist, because we don't talk about prenatal depression. We talk about postpartum, but the one that you're going through another pregnancy, especially after loss, you need a therapist to help you manage your emotions. Otherwise, they say babies feel everything.
True.
You might not survive. Fear is very crippling.
I think that's so important, and a conversation we can even expound on a little more, and hopefully even get a therapist that we can talk to. But just that it's so important. I think therapy is another thing that we need to destigmatize, because I feel like we have always associated therapy with, hey, me, I don't have issues, why do I need therapy? But I honestly think every single human being needs therapy. You need help with one thing or another to navigate one thing or another. So I applaud you for taking that direction, for seeking help in that way. So Rwani, your pregnancy with Rwani, you went full time with him?
I went full time, but it was very hard. Emotionally, I was a mess. Emotionally, I was a mess. One, you feel really lonely because you're not telling people. And then it's easier when you're walking this journey with people also in the same journey. But it was very hard to open up to anyone, because I don't want one more person I have to tell if I lose it. You're also processing COVID. You're in isolation. I think once I was done with first trimester, I started to visit my parents, just because my husband saw I was losing my mind.
You needed to get out.
So when things were better was second trimester. When things went south, I almost lost the pregnancy. When it's a Friday, I had pain, and I kept saying, this Braxton Hicks are coming. But it was just tightens, stops. Even went and had big square ribs, just let's see. But in my spirit, I knew something bad is happening today. I just didn't know where. I don't know. I was just praying in the morning, and I knew something bad is going to happen. And by the time it's 7 p.m., I'm taking Panadol. These hicks are not stopping. 9. No, once it gets to 7 p.m., it's curfew. So I tell my best friend, who's a doctor, be on standby. You're the only way I can go to hospital. Because I'm not going to be caught curfew. 9 p.m., we are with her. My husband gets an accident.
Oh, no.
Then we go to the scene. It was bad. It was really bad.
Oh my goodness.
But he was not injured.
Okay.
I stay there. They try to remove the car. So then the bypass. And then the pain comes. And I'm like, okay, someone got an accident, we should focus on him. Let's take him to hospital. So we went to Aga Khan with him.
And you're not telling people you're in pain?
It's coming and going. I'm like, this is a Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, it's normal.
So when he got to hospital, I told my best friend, I'm not able to stand.
Yeah.
Can I go sleep in the car? You take care of him, because she used to work in Aga Khan.
Yeah.
And she said, it's like, okay, fine. So I go to the car. I think it was with my brother-in-law now. And I tried to sleep. The pain.
Yeah.
And I'm in a hospital. Yes. But you see, I was like, ay, Braxton Hicks.
Yeah, you don't make a big deal of it.
You think I went to see a doctor? We were discharged. We went home.
Maggie.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I'm trying to take a nap because it's been a long night. Hey, now it came every 5 minutes. And I'm like, am I in labor? Because the stomach was really tightening. And I'm like, Kai. Fear of loss will make you not do what you need to do. I could not call the doctor. For me, going to hospital meant admitting that it's happening again. And I was like, no, everything is okay. Then I scream. And so he took the phone, he called the doctor. And the doctor said, can you get a scan nearby? I went to the scan, went to town. I was like, I know somewhere we can do it very fast.
Yes.
She's called Nduta. I go to Nduta. Nduta and the scan, and me, I'm just screaming. And she's like, your baby is absolutely fine.
Okay.
So I'm like, so what's wrong?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know. So we go to, the doctor says, Jamal says, can you get somewhere to do a UTI test? To go to Lancet, faster. I was screaming in the loo. We do the test because I want things that go faster. I don't want to go to a Nairobi hospital with queue, Nini. I want the lab. So they find they are positive UTI. Sour. Take Panadol, take antibiotics, go home before curfew. We reach home like this. I take Panadol. I'm like 1 hour.
The
pain tripled. And we're calling the guy and I was screaming, and the guy, I remember he was on loudspeaker. I said, I think your wife is in labor. Yeah. Rush to hospital. I refused to leave the house. I'm like, no, I'm not in labor. This baby is staying inside. My best friend again came, removed me by force. I couldn't sit on the chair. I was sitting on the floor of their car. I was in pain. When you get to Aga Khan, I am wheeled to maternity, emergency somewhere, maternity. And I remember my friend, because she's a pediatrician, she was calling the NICUs in the country. They're not many. And I was mad. You were killing the baby before. And she's like, no, I'm a doctor. I was mad. I was furious at her. By the time I met the doctor, Yamal, oh God, he was so kind. He was like, I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to check your cervix. If it's open, there's nothing I can do. If it's not, we can do something. I was like, okay, that's the first time he held my hand. COVID, we were not.
No contact.
He used to check me with PPE, no contact. And he held my hand and he checked and he said, okay, Fuchs, your cervix is not open. So I don't know what's happening, but we're going to stop the pain. So the pain stopped. I was on antibiotic, 2 days. I'm in the maternity ward. People have their babies. I'm like, I'm going home. The day for going home, I was on the floor crying. Pain
again.
The pain. I'm going even for ultrasound. The sonographers, they're trying not to talk in a language I don't understand, whether it's about XY chromosome is doing fine. And 2 guys. I'm like, guys, I studied biology, man. My chromosome is moving perfectly.
Are you kidding me?
It was just funny. And so they're like, your baby is 100% fine. But I couldn't sit. So Yamal is like, okay, so this is not gynecological. Let me call a general surgeon. So a general surgeon is called. He just held my stomach on one side and I scream and he's like, oh, your appendix is bursting. I was like, God, now?
Really?
Really?
Kind of
I've not been through so much now. And like, we need you in theater in 1 hour. 1 hour? I've not told my parents. Like, give me a day. Like, no.
An emergency.
If it bursts, everything is gone. That's how I was rushed to theater. And then we video call with my parents. It was sad because no one can be there.
Yeah.
COVID was horrible.
It was a hard time.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
So went to theater, rushed. We really cried.
Yeah.
My husband really cried before theater. It was bad. It was really bad. And we went, I don't know how long for me, I was just happy. Weirdly, I was like, you guys are not dying.
Yeah, I'm okay.
He was crying. My best friend is crying. I'm like, relax. I'm not dying.
Wow.
And the more I'm acting not normal, the more they are worried.
They're like, we are really losing
Now we are losing her. I went to surgery with a very good team.
Yes.
A good team to look at the baby and the team to do the surgery.
Yes.
It was successful, but recovery is the worst thing I can ask for anyone. I wouldn't wish it on anybody to have a stitched stomach and a baby moving. And you're crying because of the pain, and the nurses kept telling me, be happy the baby is moving. But how?
Because
my
so
wound
much pain
here, especially if my wound was painful, I used to cry. And I faked being well so that I can be discharged early.
Yeah.
I'm tired of listening to babies here.
Yes.
Me, I don't have a baby here. And the minute I was discharged, even me, I knew I'm going to be admitted the same day. Even walking to the car, I couldn't. My husband had to ask for a wheelchair. Then I'm pressed. Then I can't sit on the loo. He had to carry me. I remember in the loo, we were like, guy, for better for us, ilikuwa hivi. You have to wipe me. Because I can't move anything. It was weird.
You're fully dependent on him.
And I don't know why I was being discharged. I don't know why I faked it. Because the minute we reached home, it was bad. Back. Any pain triggers labor. Back to hospital. Back to do COVID tests.
Yes.
I was vomiting. I remember readmission was horrible because the cops were really bad to me. What are you doing outside?
They can see the state that you're in.
My stomach
it didn't
was
matter.
small.
Oh, okay.
What are you? Show us your clinic card. I don't have.
Who's walking around with a clinic card?
It's just the advocate side of me clicked, and I was a very mad woman. They even escorted us. But recovery was really bad.
And how many weeks were you at
28.
this point? Oh, 28. My goodness.
Yeah, it's big. Your baby is moving and your stomach is stitched. It was painful.
Of course.
And I could only be discharged if I go to the loo. So because they pump, during surgery, they inflate the stomach with gases to access.
Yes.
And there's a baby.
Yes.
So all those gases to leave my system was hard. It was painful.
Yeah.
It was taking a lot of time, and you're pregnant, so they can't give you the strong meds to help you. So I was admitted for another week until the day I will go to the loo. And that was me and God. I told God, if you heal me, I'll stop hiding in fear. I made a covenant with God. I remember we were doing a campaign with you. Nizani.
Oh my gosh.
It was that campaign. You guys were doing calls, and then I joined when I was in hospital. And I remember. Like, no, go rest.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so it was a long stay in hospital. The person next to me had given birth. Babies were all over. And they're like, where's your baby? And they think my pain is labor. Labor.
Yes. So I have a lot happening.
I don't even know how I can tell you. And I need to go to the loo so that I'm discharged. And I used to pray every day. I used to do worship on those corridor, walk. Just praying, God, I need to poop without medicine so that I'm discharged. It happened on the 1st of August. Until I had to write. I announced my pregnancy on the 3rd of August.
It was very significant.
It was very significant. 1st of August.
Oh my goodness.
When the doctor came, I was like, I went to the loo. Guys, I went to the loo. You can discharge me. And the things you take for granted.
Exactly. I was going to say the things you take for granted.
And you're eating and everything is stuck. So the more it's stuck, the more you feel so bad.
They
were out of meds. I was given the strongest, and they're like, we can't repeat, we'll risk losing the baby.
Oh my gosh. You reminded me, I think one day we'll have to talk about the post CS constipation. Me, have stories to tell, but let's stay right here. So.
Yeah, it was. That was my longest week.
Yes, I can't even imagine that. So now you're heading towards 30 weeks. How far did you? At what week did you deliver, Rwani?
39.
Okay, so you got to the tail end.
Yeah, I was on medication to prevent labor for a while. Then now, it was a miracle for me. It was a miracle. Yes. I even told God, I've gone through so much. Don't give me such a long labor. Oh God. Story for another day.
How long was it?
10 hours. And I still had a CS.
I'm sorry.
I went through it, and a week later my CS food opened up. As in, I went through it.
Maggie.
If I tell you, Rwani is a fighter.
Yeah.
He was okay throughout.
Yes.
Even the doctors said, thank God your baby is fine. You're just the one who's sick. We just need to treat you.
Yes.
Rwani is a fighter.
Yes, for sure.
He's a fighter.
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
Maggie, listening to you, there's the things that have popped out for me from time to time from the beginning of your journey.
Yeah.
When you're talking about, I never went to the hospital, I should have gone.
Yeah.
Then there's that place now you're pregnant with Rwani, you're like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm too triggered to go to the hospital because it means that I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
But those are real, legit fears.
Your trauma after loss goes through with you with every pregnancy afterwards.
Wow. Yeah. And is there a way, how do you think, how can you navigate the trauma, the fears, to a place where it's not paralyzing you? Because it's also possible to, it was difficult, but it's also possible to paralyze you so much that you cannot move forward. You cannot function.
First thing, you have to acknowledge that God doesn't send fear. Fear is from the devil.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to really tell myself. It's the devil just trying to get his way so that God's work in your life is not seen.
Yeah.
So anyone who's struggling with fear, I always say fear was sent by the devil.
Yes.
It's the devil constantly
100%.
telling you, usiambiane, usifanye hivyo. It's that nothing about God wants you to be fearful. Yes.
Yeah.
So acknowledging your trauma is very important. Understanding that all these things happened to me. They were not easy.
Yeah.
I think for therapy, that's the first thing I was told. Acknowledge.
Yes.
Your journey was not the same as anyone else's, and it was hard.
Yes.
And you conquered.
Yes, you did.
So get rid of fear first.
Yeah.
Speak life.
Yeah.
You have to change the narrative.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the devil loves it when women are afraid.
Yeah. It's like a playing field.
Because the minute I shared my journey, the number of people who were Rwani's story has inspired so many moms.
Yeah.
Even when I shared about the miscarriage, the number of moms I talked to, I feel like God's work was done in sharing than hiding.
Yeah. And that's why we're doing this. We don't want to hide our stories. There's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's also healing. The more we talk about it, the more healing comes to us as well, right?
Yeah.
So can you just specifically address a mother, a woman who is in that place of possibly in a pregnancy after loss, and it's that fear that is so crippling that you're just like, no, it's gonna end up badly, this reminds me of this, I can't move forward, I can't. Can you just speak to a woman like that right now?
Yeah. One of my favorite uncles, when he died, the last words he said were, the Bible has all the answers. And throughout my life, I live finding answers now from the Bible. And if you are in that state, please go check, what is the Bible saying about your situation? What is the Bible saying about fear? It's not sent by God. What is the Bible saying about the new life you're carrying? That before I knew you, I knew you before I formed you. Like God knows, and there's nothing much you as human can do than surrender. The minute you start to surrender, you start walking with God. You start walking with purpose, and you speak life. There's so much power in just speaking life. I remember when I was really vomiting and I'm feeling so bad, my auntie would tell me, it's another day to remind you you're still pregnant.
Wow.
And so even when I used to vomit, I used to say, "Oh, baby, you didn't like this food. It's fine. Let's get it out. Let's get it out." Let's try. I'll try something else. Just let it out. Look at the devil wants you to really not rejoice in what God has given you.
Yeah.
And he thrives in making sure that you do not enjoy pregnancy again. But you need to speak life. You need to be very aware.
Yes.
Once you're carrying life, you are in communion with God. It's such an honor.
Yes.
And he's the one who knows. He has plans for you, so you need to really commune with him. Speak with him. Speak out your fears. Speak life to your baby, because Rani to me is what I used to speak to him. I used to tell him, "You'll fight." You will fight. So you have so much power within you, and I really want you to tap into that as a woman who's going through this. Tap into your inner power. Commune with God. Speak life. Overcome that fear.
Wow.
Yes, a day at a time. Not even a month at a time. It's a day at a time.
Yes, even a moment at a time.
Yes.
You know?
A minute at a time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Maggie, thank you. I feel like we haven't finished, so we will have you again, because there's so much more to unpack on your journeys, and because your story is still continuing on, and we'll keep coming back and just seeing where we're at with different things. But thank you so much for being so vulnerable, being so honest and open with your story. Thank you for using your platform, your voice, to just lift other women. I think that is just, I'm so grateful that you're doing that, and for saying yes to me as well.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to sit. At least this is the longest we've sat.
It's true, yes.
We talk a lot, but not in person.
So we do a lot of virtual. So this is perfect. Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. And I'm so grateful to you guys for just staying there, listening to us, absorbing. I'd love to know what you've heard Maggie talk about, that you feel that one, just that one thing that she said, that's the one for me. Would also love to hear your stories, your journeys. Let's encourage each other. If somebody shares the story on the comments and you have a word to encourage them, jump on there and do that, because we are just building a community of sisters who can lift each other and who can destigmatize and break taboos over all of these conversations. But I also want to speak and just re-emphasize something that Maggie has said. If you are pregnant right now, speak life. If you are looking to get pregnant, speak life, regardless of what has happened on your journey in the past. Let's look at that as the past, and that God is giving us a new chance to try again, to dream again. So continue to speak life. I know it's hard. I have been there. I know it is hard, but I also know that it's possible to find joy even in the most difficult of places. So I'm going to stop right there. Next week you get to catch up with somebody else. Thank you so much. Continue to share, subscribe, share this with people in your small group, in your family. Have these conversations. Let them, just have them wherever it is that you are. Let a woman somewhere know that she is not alone. Thank you for joining Being Kambua. I will catch you again next time. Bye.
As a mother, you know when you're about to lose something, there's something that your body sends you a message, and then after about half an hour, 4 doctors came in this room, and they just looked at me and told me, "We are very sorry but your boy is gone." And my boy was gone.